Everyone has a different way of seeing things and how we approach them. What if there was one great advice of how to do the thing we love? Shoot street photography. Hello, my name is Martin and welcome to my channel. First of all, thank you very much to everyone who liked, subscribed and commented. I even got some great DMs and honestly this community is growing and I'm truly happy about this. So guys, thank you very much and I will keep up with this content and let's just have some fun. Tony Ray Jones was great street and documentary photography from Britain. As a young guy, he went to university in the United States and there he just started to soak in the street photography culture from Joel Meyerowitz and Gary Winograd, with whom he actually shot personally on the streets. When he came back to Britain, he was absolutely inspired with this community he met in the United States. So he started to work on his own projects. He was absolutely obsessed with what and how is happening on the streets. For him it was like a theater, as Martin Parr said. Especially for Martin Parr, Tony Ray Jones became icon, like a blueprint of how to document ordinary life in his country. Tony left us his photographs and the note he made for himself, like a guide. So let's check what is there to inspire us. My aim is to communicate something of a spirit and the mentality of the English, their habits and their way of life. The ironies that exist in the way they do things. Partly through their tradition and partly through the nature of their environment and their mentality. For me there is something very special about the English way of life and I wish to record it from my particular point of view before it becomes Americanized and disappears. Tony Ray Jones. This is page from Tony's notebook and what I find it nice really because I have the same notebook and I'm also writing for myself what I find good or bad in my own photography. So when I found it, I just print it and I keep it next to my computer, so I always check it out. So today I would like to share it with you. Be more aggressive. For me this is kind of like a Muhammad Ali sort of thing, you know, like be on your toes, be ready, be there, you know, like when something happened, you are right there and you are documenting it, photographing and making a record. Get more involved. Talk to people. This one is very important one because when you talk to people, you get more information or even access, you know, you get more insight of their situation, you actually have a much closer look in their lives. Stay with the subject matter. Be patient. This is absolutely for me because I'm kind of running gun, you know, sort of thing for me. So sometimes I find something interesting and I'm waiting like 5 minutes. Maybe it needed only 7, 10, but I was already gone, you know. Sometimes when you are truly impressed by your subject, you found something interesting, stay there and you know, things might happen for you and that's it. Yeah, be patient, you know, like it's like a fishing. Be patient and create something nice. Take simpler photos. Well, I'm guilty as charged, but sometimes my photos, you know, are like overcrowded, there is so many things going on and sometimes even when I try to connect 2 or 3 things, it might work, but there is always this one too much, too less, you know. So just strip it down to bare minimum what you need to have in your photograph. I'm not talking about the minimalistic Instagram photos, I'm talking about what is important is inside and what is not important is outside of your frame. See if everything in the background relates to your subject matter. Exactly as I said before, what is not important is not there. As Joel Meyerowitz was saying, you know, like it's your responsibility what you put around. You know, like you have your square and like you choose what is going inside. So be aware what is behind. You know, after we have this kind of sticky subjects, you know, like when you have a black door behind some man's head, you know, and it's like if this door wouldn't be there, you know, his head wouldn't have this weird shape. Absolutely every time I'm doing this I find something nice, I see peripherally something interesting, I snap a photo and then I found out that there was in the middle, there was something what I didn't want there absolutely, and what I will Photoshop it out. Not the best thing, you know. Vary compositions and angles more. This one is quite very important because with your angle, how you approach your subject, it can change absolutely how the subject is perceived. For example, when you shoot dogs and kids, you get down on their eye level. So you are kind of, when you look at the photograph, you are kind of involved in their world. You kind of feel like you are with them. You are this small kid, you are this small dog, and you are looking on the world in a similar way. Be more aware of your composition. I mean, yes, we can in Lightroom we just change, we cut, we crop a little bit how we want it, but actually it's not just this. Sometimes exactly these points that are like intertwined with one another. For example, if you don't think about your composition, this photograph as you took it might look a little bit slightly different if you vary your angle, if you check what is behind and you clear your background. And also composition, when you place something in the middle, it's then very hard to actually make it in a rule of thirds. So be very aware where to place your subject and what is around. So all these points, they are working together. Now one which is not very technical, don't take boring pictures. Well, easier said than done, but I do it very often. I take this photo and then after I just like, nah. When you see the situation and you are just taking photo just in a case, when you already think about like, okay, I would just take it, just to have it. But yeah, that's already boring picture, which have been done many times over. So skip it and be more aware on the background, further away from the situation. Maybe something will develop on the same place. Just be calm, be patient. Get in closer, use 50mm lens. I mean, yes, it's exactly like Robert Capa said, if your pictures are not good enough, you are not close enough. 50mm lens, like you don't really need to have 50mm lens to get close. I love 50mm lens for photography, but for the street photography, 35 for me personally is the best. I start to question it, around recent 2 years health problems of the world. 50 or even 80 is actually much better because the people on the square are much further apart, and now it's getting kind of back, but yeah, just to move things around, as he wrote, 50mm lens for him was to get in closer, but I would say physically go closer and don't be Bruce Gilden. Yeah, don't be like him. His one is already enough. Nice. Watch your camera shake. Shoot 250 seconds or above. It's a bit different when in the 60s, when the camera shake was a big thing, but I would still say that actually to know how your shutter speed affect and how you can use it actually in creative way, it's very important. So if you know that actually slide the movement of your subject, not about camera shake, but about your subject. If you shoot 100 and below, and you use this movement stripes, and you have one stable subject in a photograph, it might be nice part of your photography. So just be aware of effect as it has on the photograph. Don't shoot too much. This is obviously, like we talk about Gary Winograd or Vivian Maier, two opposite things. He said don't shoot too much, and actually I can kind of understand, when you are like just shooting, like sometimes you stop living, and you are not aware. You're just shooting. You don't know how the life is going. You don't smell it. Like I understand both parts, but from time to time I'm trying also to do this one, just be there, live the same life of the street and feel it, smell it, and then when the moment comes, decisive moment, you take a photo. Not all eye level, exactly the same as very angles and composition. I mean, not all eye level is very important because as we walk we tend to just shoot as we go, like maybe just change a little bit, but just try to do some squat or like turn, because if it's all eye level, like there is like depends on your height, you know, 1.50 m, it's already dead space, you know, like you can change the axis of your photograph. And the last one, but not least, no middle distance. This one, when I was thinking about, was quite hard to take in, you know, to think what actually he was talking about. And I was just scrolling my photos, you know, in my archive, and I noticed one thing. There is one kind of photos which are not really close, you know, like to see the detail, but not far enough so you can see the whole scene. So I would say this no middle distance is this thing that even if you crop the photo, you don't have enough details of the action, and you cannot actually make it more, you know, bigger to see the whole scene. So either you take bigger bigger photo, or you just go totally in and you take a detail. So this would mean that we just went through the list. Thank you very much for your attention. This was the video about Tony Ray Jones and his secret note. Hopefully this will make your street photography experience better and results will be even better than you expect. Let me know down, and thank you very much. Have a nice day. Ciao.